Hi guys, welcome back. All right, Aquarius. I was gonna do a "What's on their mind" message, but I felt like I wanted to do an urgent message instead, like a message for right now. What is the message coming in right now? I don't know why I'm shifting on that, but you guys look for your "What's on their mind" message tomorrow on Monday. Okay, we have Page of Blues, and that is sideways. So that's our Page of Cups. We may have somebody thinking about an apology. We have the Moon and we have the Ace of Wands. This actually may not be an apology. This could be somebody who's realizing slowly but surely, I feel a lot of passion. I feel a lot of desire, and I'm realizing what it's all about. This could be a Pisces, could be a divine masculine, could be somebody that is feeling some kind of, you know, energetic tug or pull in their heart space. Yeah, the lovers. We got strong Gemini energy. All right. So somebody is sitting there daydreaming, fantasizing right now about Aquarius. And it is about wanting to slow dance with Aquarius. It is about wanting, this feels very much like, before the like New Year's Eve or something. It's like, God, I would love to be with that Aquarius and, enjoy like a celebratory kind of energy. I'd love to go to a concert with Aquarius. I'm realizing more and more like Aquarius is on my mind. Aquarius is the only one on my mind. Aquarius is the one I need to go out with. That is what's happening like currently for somebody else. What is happening for Aquarius in this moment? And what does this mean for Aquarius anyway? Actually, let's ask that first. What does someone else's energy shift mean for Aquarius? Oh, we have Emperor in the reverse. It might be a time frame for Aquarius to either, if they had been like dealing with somebody that was an Emperor in the reverse, so very toxic, very controlling, something that obviously Aquarius would not want in their life. Now might be a really good time for Aquarius to let the devil let go and move on from the thoughts of what they don't want. It's easy to get stuck sometimes on the memory of somebody where it's like, we had nothing but problems, they didn't treat me well. I still feel, energetically connected to them, even though it's mostly because maybe the upset and the terrible experience that I had keeps my mind going back to it. And this says the best thing Aquarius could do right now is to let themselves move on and move away from the concept of this Emperor in the reverse, this devil energy. So we have Aries and Capricorn. I don't know if that's who Aquarius had dealt with, but there could have been, somebody who had like a really strong hold over Aquarius's, thoughts for a while, because it can be very confusing. It can be very frustrating. I know for me, when something really bothers me, I hold on to that. It's harder to let go of something that bothers me than it is for something wonderful to kind of fade, right? Sometimes things that hurt last longer, probably because it's a wound that we have to heal. Whereas something like, think of, we eat something yummy and it's like, oh, that was so good. And we may always remember that good meal, but it won't necessarily randomly pop into our head in the middle of our day. Instead, we'd have to be in a conversation about like somebody saying, hey, what were the 3 best meals you can ever remember having? And then you're like, oh, I stored that one in my memory bank. But something negative and painful, that can sting all the time. So there's this low grade constant, like in my mind, I can't help it. I keep remembering somebody that was, not nice to me, somebody that I had a really difficult time with, somebody that was really frustrating, somebody that caused me grief. We remember that all the time because that's something we still hurt over. We're still healing. So of course it's there all the time, unlike something positive that might only, a memory that might pop into our mind only if, prompted. So this is the gentle message right now is for Aquarius, though, to start focusing on moving beyond that painful past experience and that painful past memory and moving into calmer, more peaceful, probably because we have somebody thinking good thoughts about Aquarius, and we want Aquarius to move on from a, painful memory of a past scenario and also move their mind into something like a more positive frame. Let's just ask, what else do we have right now for Aquarius? Anything for them to be thoughtful of, anything for them to be mindful of? King of Swords, Devil again. In this case, and I would say this is Aquarius getting their power back. Aquarius gets to realize, like, look, I absolutely can not only get beyond something that was toxic, but I can also, get passionate about things that are better for me. The devil doesn't have to be a bad card. It's only bad if it's with other bad cards. Otherwise, it can just be intense passion, desire. Um, Sometimes we have to get irritated by something, even wounded by something, and finally get fed up feeling that way. And then we say, I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it into my motive for insisting that I'm going to get beyond this. Thank you for, giving me the reason to forget you. I'm going to totally like, oh God, what's that song? Is it Christina Aguilera? Thanks for making me a fighter. Um, Footsteps a little bit lighter. Thanks for making me stronger. Thanks for making me a fighter. Something like that. I would say that's the way Aquarius is able to take this and harness it and say, no, I control the way I'm going to let something impact me. And I am going to go put on my sexiest best. And I'm more determined than ever that I will meet somebody better than the person that hurt me or the person that was difficult or the person that, I found a really toxic connection to. I am determined that I will find something better. I'm passionate about finding something better for myself. And I'm passionate about, you know, being balanced and knowing my worth and knowing that I'm hot, knowing that I'm sexy. Because I do kind of feel like maybe this was somebody who they, okay, look, they seem to be someone who's like showing off their bod. And so I don't know if whomever was kind of toxic, that emperor in the reverse, had like a real chip on their shoulder about how beautiful and handsome, attractive, whatever, use whatever adjective we want. If they came across as like, I'm so hot and aren't you lucky to be with me? And they could have even chipped away at some of Aquarius's own ability to feel like they were attractive. And this is Aquarius saying, oh, hell no, I am not going to let myself feel like I'm not attractive. If that's something they tried to chip away, take away from me, I refuse to let that happen. I am determined to look in the mirror and say, I am attractive. I know this. I'm not going to let their, behavior get in my head and make me feel less than. So right now, I feel like Aquarius might be doing some personal grooming, putting on an awesome outfit, maybe reconnecting with their sensuality, reconnecting with the things that they know to be true about themselves. They might be putting on, hair, makeup, whatever, making themselves look good, smell good. Doesn't matter, even if Aquarius has nowhere necessarily to go. Although we can always find somewhere to go. I'm taking myself out to dinner. In this case, this is somebody going out to a casino or like going out where there's other people. But it could simply be, I'm going to dress up and I'm going to go out someplace and I'm going to remember what it feels like to turn heads, because I think Aquarius is very attractive. And I think if the message right now is for Aquarius to just like regroup and remember their attractiveness, the reason that's so important is because we have somebody else new coming in on the scene pretty soon. And that new person who's right now thinking an awful lot about Aquarius, thinking about, God, it'd be so nice to slow dance with them. God, they're so attractive. If Aquarius isn't able to see themselves as attractive, when this new person tries to make overtures for them, Aquarius might shut them down and be like, whatever, I'm not that attractive. My ex told me that, or, I still have that past energy in my mind. What this encouragement is for Aquarius to do a mind wipe of everything that they were told in the past and reset to who they really are, as if they had never met that ex, that toxicity, and they reclaim their own persona and they can look in the mirror and say, no, I have my confidence back. Now that'll put them in a good position for when this new person approaches, because I do see this new person approaching. Can we see anything else about the new person? Because I really like them. Really like them. They seem romantic. King of Pentacles, very nice. Hermit, they could be a really strong Virgo energy. The Ace of Swords, they know what they like and they don't mess about. And High Priestess, you know what? I'm going to say somewhere in the subconscious or in the ether, Aquarius and this, we'll call them King of Pentacles, have known for a long time that they were going to have a destiny together. They were still, our King of Pentacles was still kind of out on their hermit's journey for a bit, but maybe that was perfect because obviously Aquarius has been kind of like shedding that old narrative of the ex scenario. So perhaps this was always going to be like, at some point, I just know I'm gravitating toward this Aquarian. But I'll somewhere in the subconscious, this has always been like, we'll say it was already written in the Akashic records. These two were always going to gravitate toward each other at some point, even though perhaps it's taken a bit of time. But now we have time's up. It's time to go. I think this is them entering into Aquarius's world. I keep feeling like they're going to meet Aquarius in the night, in the dark. It keeps feeling like Aquarius is going to go out somewhere, take themselves out, someplace, out for dinner, out for a drink, and that's where they meet this person, or that's where they encounter this person. It feels like they're on a little happy collision course, if I could say it that way. A happy collision course, not like they're actually going to smack into each other, but rather there's been a tug across time and space. And I kind of think they both have known for a long time. When the timing is right, somehow I'm ending up in their arms and vice versa. That begs the question, does Aquarius actually already know this person, or have they seen this person? Can I get one last question or one last card to answer that? I feel like we should change decks. Let's go this route. No, I want something really colorful. Hang on. I love all the rainbow tones on this, and because I feel like this storyline is getting brighter and brighter, and I feel like we need, because I feel light coming back in. I feel kind of celebratory energy. So let's see. Death card. I said, did these two already know of each other? Death card is a major transformation, but what I love about this card is we have somebody who's here and they're leaning and looking into the tide pool at the version of themselves that already exists. I would say definitely these two have recognized each other, even if it was like, I saw you in passing one day at the grocery store but didn't talk to you, or I know of you but I don't know your name, or this almost feels like Aquarius and this person have made some kind of mental note that I saw them, but they're not for me now, they'd be for me later. And I almost feel like, well, guess what, later has come. Death card says transformation has now occurred, and we are bringing something back to life, something that was earmarked for us some time ago. I do think this is somebody Aquarius knows, or has seen before. Can we get any other attributes to them? We saw them as a king of pentacles there. We saw them as a hermit. 10 of Swords, Chariot. They are somebody who could have a very nice back. They could also just be that could be a metaphor for a strong backbone, somebody who really stands for things, somebody who has, he's gone through his own endings and new beginnings. And this is somebody who handles their business. If there's a problem, they go into that hermit mode and they heal what they need to. And they take their time working through and chewing through what they need to, because this is somebody who likes to have their own personal empowerment. This is not somebody who brings their dirty laundry to somebody else's table. This is somebody he fixes himself and he comes in whole. This is a very powerful character. I would even say they're more than a king of pentacles. I would say that they're a full-blown emperor. We just don't see them in that energy yet, but they have to be, because only emperors and empresses get to ride in the chariot. This is a character who's very responsible for their own life choices. I feel like they're very, there's somebody who really believes in family roots. They could be somebody who has strong bonds in their life to family. And that's always going to be really important to them. I do feel like something has happened where they went through something that was really traumatic for themselves as well. And they did the work that they needed to get themselves back to 100%. It could have been physical injury. It could have been emotional injury. It could have been something very, traumatizing. And yet they said, I need to get through this. So I need to go, if it's an injury, I need to do physical therapy and get this healed, so I'm back to full functionality. Or if I need, to work on the emotional trauma, I'm going to go see a counselor or therapist. I'm going to go to group therapy. I'm going to do the things because I live my life whole. This is somebody who's very, I'm going to say very proactive in making sure that they can always run their own lives and that experiences don't run them. That is an amazing character, and I can see why they would match so beautifully with Aquarius in this. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here. What a delight to see such strong characters. We don't always get really strong characters, but we do right now, so I love it. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye for right now, you guys.